Hey everybody, welcome back. It's been a couple weeks since I put out a video, and that's because I started school. I was out of school last semester during the fall of 2016 because I was in the hospital and I couldn't confirm my enrollment. So I'm just now getting back and I'm really excited. I'm taking my first neuroscience class, brain and behavior, which will be really awesome. So let's go ahead and get started. This video is going to be about depression, and it's not going to be anything that you'll find in a book. It's not, I'm not using sources. I'll give two stories. The first will be my own. The second will be from somebody that wanted to share their story of depression. And well, here we go. So I guess for me, I don't even know when I started feeling depressed. Maybe around 16 or so. I don't think I really knew what was happening to me because I started doing really odd things like I would like take thumbtacks and like put them in my wrist, like all down them, and like I would take a bunch of painkillers that I would find lying around like the house or my dad's house. And I didn't know that I was trying to numb pain. I didn't know that. I just thought that that's what people did. But I think that was kind of the first time that I ever felt depressed. And oh, we have a kitty joining us today. And then like I just ignored it. Like I didn't do anything with it. Like I didn't want to deal with it, like most people don't. And so I just ignored it. Sorry, my cat. It really got bad last year, I think. I started staying in bed a lot. Like I couldn't do anything. I started doing yoga the year before that, and I just stopped doing yoga. Like I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't make myself get out of bed. Like if I wasn't at work, I was asleep. I didn't eat, or if I did eat, I would like binge eat. And I felt so awful, and I didn't really understand why. And I don't even know, like depression is one of those things that it's really hard to explain to somebody who doesn't understand or who's never had it. People think that it's just sadness or extreme sadness, and it's so much more than that. It's so debilitating, and like it just consumes your whole entire life. And then I went from feeling so much emotional pain to feeling nothing at all. And I began to feel extremely apathetic. And I think that that was worse than actually feeling. I think that that was actually worse than feeling emotional pain. At least for me, it was. I wanted to feel anything at all. Like I didn't care if it was sadness. I almost longed to be depressed again so I could feel something. And I think that happened because I was so depressed for so long and I didn't do anything about it. Like I'd seen a psychologist for a little bit, but as soon as she mentioned the word medication, I was done. Like I didn't want to talk to her anymore because I was afraid that putting chemicals in my body would mess me up even further. And now I know that they help me. They help me so much, and I know a lot of people are really against them. But I think that just comes from not understanding exactly what they do. You can see my um, treatments for depression video and find out how medications kind of benefit people who are depressed. Um, yeah, depression sucks, guys, and I'm kind of like living proof that it does get better, and it's not always going to be that bad. You just have to ask for help. You have to talk about it. You can't just ignore it. If you ignore it, you could wind up attempting suicide and you might succeed. And I don't even know you, and I don't want that to happen. I wish our suicide numbers would go down, but I'm pretty sure they're increasing a lot. And I think that's because of the stigma that surrounds it. And I think that if we can just all learn to talk about it and get over the weird feeling it gives everybody for some reason, I think that we would really be able to help a lot of people. I know that's not a lot of details for me as far as depression goes. I have more experience in the realm of trauma and anxiety. I have OCD, which runs rampant in my family, which we'll get to that a little later on, whenever, you know. So, next, I'm going to read somebody who sent me kind of their story on depression. And then after that, I'm going to read a poem that I wrote about depression. And I'm really glad that you guys liked this video. If you have, or if you commented on it, tell me how you battle depression. How has it been for you? How has it affected you? And maybe I'll do another one of these and I'll feature it and we can just start a big conversation about depression and the stigma that surrounds it and the fact that you can't just get over it or just think yourself out of it. It's much more work, much more than that. And I think most of you who have depression understand that. The following story is not my own, but it is a friend of mine who wanted to share their story of depression with all of you so that you may understand a little bit more what it's like to have depression if you've never had it. So when I use first person pronouns, just know that it is not myself, but somebody else. I've been dealing with major depressive disorder since I was about 15 years old. I was told it was everything from a bad attitude and laziness to not praying enough. I was officially diagnosed when I was 17. I struggled to stay awake for more than a few hours and even more to wake up. I always feel exhausted, even when I'm well rested, and when I go into a downward spiral with my depression, it manifests in severe mental symptoms, but also in physical symptoms most people don't associate with depression. I have unexplainable pains, terrible headaches, etc. There aren't specific triggers that starts it all rolling. It's almost like an avalanche. A single thought can start the whole thing. I tried treating it with dietary changes, more exercise, meditation, and several medications, a few of which result in severe suicidal episodes and seizures, before I finally found one that brought some sort of normalcy back into my life. I still struggle from day to day, but I'm finally able to maintain healthy relationships and I'm able to handle social situations that I wasn't able to before. The hardest thing for me about dealing with depression has been the constant friendly advice that everyone is so ready to give. You have a good life. You just need to stop focusing on your feelings. Just think more positive thoughts. And my personal favorite, depression is just an excuse to not deal with your problems. It can be painful for the most important people in your life to not understand what you are dealing with is an actual illness and not a bad attitude or laziness or an excuse. I have hope that eventually they will begin to understand the difference between a pity party or sadness and depression. I know that the more we are able to share our stories and show the world what depression really is, the less people who are suffering will feel like they have to hide it. It should be just as open conversation as any other physical illness. Next, I'm going to read a poem that I wrote almost a year ago, about a year and a month ago today. It kind of symbolizes what it's like to have depression and how I kind of want to just be rid of it and do all of the things that people who don't have depression do. The burden of existence rests upon my shoulders as I struggle to breathe in the toxins that give me life, the purest form that is me, my quintessence. I long to run, to skip, to fly. The heavens above scream with the secrets of the universe, and the earth shatters with every whisper that never reaches the tip of our tongues. Like the wind that carries the leaves, I am swept up by the deadened parts of me. I beg the black hole within me to declare itself. Why am I here? Who am I? What are these watercolors swirling in my iris? For all I see is a tornado of a paradoxical color spectrum. The bridge that suspends us above our fears is the same one that collapses when the rope becomes frayed. All that is keeping us together is the life force that plays hide and seek, because the burden of existence rests upon all of our shoulders. Well, that was my depression video. This is the last video on depression. It's not the last video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, share it, subscribe to me, The more we subscribe and the more we like, the more this video is featured in like recommended channels, and the more people get exposed to the realm of mental health and mental illness, and the more minds we can hopefully change. So next we're going to be doing bipolar disorder, and I think I might have somebody come on and do the anecdote part of this, because I don't have bipolar disorder, so I can't really speak from experience on that. So once again, thank you so much for watching. I'm Mental Bear.